Hey YouTube, we are finally out of the Master League and Psychic Cup and we are back to Great League. So we're going to do some top Great League teams, but before we do, there has been a little bit of a, not even a shake up, just like updated rankings in GBL. So we're going to just kind of look at the top 20 to 30 Pokemon and what's strong and what's not strong, and then, or why they are strong. And then we are going to go to a bunch of teams, some of mine, some other content creators that I'll highlight. Let's start with why the heck is Clodsire at 1 and 2? And Sludge Bomb is at number 1 with the 2.4 better rating. Do I have to use that all the time? Here's the thing, when you see these ratings and you see these like different moveset combos here. For me personally, how this Sims is done is against sort of like the Great League meta. So if you sim it against the Great League meta in the even energy, even one shield, Sludge Bomb will perform better. Now, does that mean you have to use Sludge Bomb and Earthquake? No. In fact, I think what it comes down to is how are you team building, right? Stone Edge provides you flyer coverage. Why a lot of people were scared in the past to especially run this moveset, Poison, Sting, Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, was because you had Skarmory and you had Gligar, right? So with Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, all those moves would be resisted. Clodsire is essentially useless. So you had to have Stone Edge to at least hit neutral against those and super effective against other flyers. Now, those flyers got nerfed, so you're probably not seeing them as much, so you don't really need to team build as much. Sludge Bomb, as you can see in the just the counts here, Sludge Bomb is a 6-turn move and Earthquake is a 7-turn move. So Sludge Bomb is 50 for 96 and Stone Edge is 55 for 100. So in terms of damage per energy and having a quicker move that you could potentially bait, it makes sense to run Sludge Bomb. Plus, if there's more potential like grass Pokemon out there because there's less flyers, Sludge Bomb is the better move. Now, Stone Edge I think gives you better coverage on flyers in general. There are Pokemon that Stone Edge Earthquake can't hit at all, and one of them you're going to see on my team is Chestnut, where it is fighting grass, but that's kind of rare. But again, Sludge Bomb and Earthquake is not going to hit against Skarmory or Gligar, right? So if you see those don't want that. So what it comes down to is it does not matter which one you want to run, Sludge Bomb or Stone Edge. It's just basically how you team build with them and covering those sort of weaknesses that I just laid out there. Otherwise, the meta is pretty the same as what it was week 1, right? You have your Mana Buzz as your basically only flyer for Alligator with Shadow Claw. Hydro Cannon is just a beast. I think Gastrodon is on a couple teams that Homeslays put out, and I'm highlighting those. So Gastrodon is strong. Again, I have problems with Body Slam being non-stab, and you don't really need to do it, but the slaps and Earth Powers can combo there. Diggersby Quick Attack, I'm still a little torn on this one. Is running Fire Punch, Scorching Sands, which was earlier in the season. It suggested Hyper Beam, but Hyper Beam it is a while to get to that move. So having the Quick Attack, normal type move with Fire Punch, Scorching Sands, not a bad combo there. Just has the bulk. Malamar you're seeing on the teams because with the Psywave, it is a Shadow Claw, damage and energy clone, but it is a 1-turn move, right? So it's such a good move. Pangoro, I haven't had a chance to use it because I don't actually have one for the Great League. I do. Others have. They say it's strong. Again, fighters are very underrepresented. You have like Pangoro and you have Machamp, and then it's a pretty big drop into other like ones that focus on like the fighting karate, like fast move and charge move. And then again, you got some just like Quagsire, Azumarill, Toxapex, just bulky or spammy. Bastiodon, Dunsparce, I just highlighted yesterday as like one of the, I think, better Pokemon to use in this meta, that if you don't have excels or legacy moves and stuff like that. Shadow Marowak, I was super impressed when I used Shadow Marowak. It just having the same type of attack bonus and the shadow bonus on top of that is just very strong. Jump Left is out because it's, again, not a lot of flyers. So it's 1, a flyer in itself, and 2, it's a grass, so you don't need to worry about as flyers as much. And then we're kind of just like the rest here. So let's look at some teams. Whoops. Sorry, I forgot to hide all the teams that I just put up. Let me just do that for 1 second here so you can focus on team number 1. Chestnut, Drapion, Quillfish. It's a double Poison Dark. This is me just testing out. The team works extremely well. Basically, you Safe Swap Drapion, try and draw out that Clodsire, spam it with some Aqua Tails. Again, if it's running Stone Edge, Earthquake, it won't have anything for Chestnut, so that's where it kind of dominates there. And then Quillfish kind of roam free. You can use Skunk Tank, or you can just use a balanced team, right? You can just do Chestnut, Drapion safe swap, and then something to cover your fire and flying weakness in the back there. Some sort of like water Pokemon, like for Alligator or something. So that is the team. I think Chestnut and Drapion are both very, very strong in this meta. This one, there's a lot of unique-ish Pokemon on here. In particular, I guess Driplin's not unique anymore. Astonish got buffed, and it is very, very, very strong. I think it's probably one of my go-to ghost Pokemon now, right? So Trevenant hasn't really, with Shadow Claw, hasn't risen back. Some people are now going to use like Sableye as either the shadow or non-shadow version of it. So there's other options for Ghost. I really like Drifblim. It covers kind of two things I said. The lack of a flyer up there. Ghost, there's a lot more poisons and stuff. So Ghost resists poison. Not a ton of dark, as I say it with Umbreon on my team, but that's kind of why I used it. And then Icy Wind for, Clodsire, and then Shadow Ball, Nuke for the rest. So I think it's a very strong Pokemon. Umbreon is, again, I don't think there's a lot of dark Pokemon in this meta right now. There's like Guzzlord. I think you can use Umbreon, but there's not a ton of others going on right now. And it's because like some of the darks were fighters like Scrafty and stuff, and they got nuked with the counter. Mandibuzz. I was just trying to remember what other darks. Oh, I guess Malamar too. Okay, so I guess I was going to say there's not a lot of darks. There's some darks. Here's the thing, though. So Mandibuzz with Umbreon. Mandibuzz is the flying Umbreon, essentially, right? Just have an insane amount of bulk, but same sort of, not as hard-hitting, but very similar movesets, too. Malamar is a new one that has risen to the top because of its boost to Psywave. Pangoro, not a lot of people don't have that because you need to trade it to get it under the Great League, which a lot of people do not have. Some have it, but some don't. Drapion, I just kind of covered it, and then there's Guzzlord is the only one that I would focus on. And then you get down into like your Galarian Moltres, very, very few people have. Sableye, I just kind of talked about, and there's your Umbreon right there. And that's just basically, it's like one other in the top 100. So not that there's none, I just cut, what I say, 7 or 8, but 7 or 8 out of the top 100 is not a lot. And again, a couple of them are not really accessible, Moltres and Pangoro. So when you kind of get down to it, there's not as many darks running around right now, but Ghost got buffed through the roof, right? A bunch of Astonish users coming out with those buffs. So I think it's a nice answer there. Shadow Giraffe was a test to see how dominant it can be against your top meta in Clodsire and Feraligatr, because Clodsire is a poison, so you hit super effective with the Confusion and Psychic Fangs, and Feraligatr has that Shadow Claw, and as a Psychic normal, you single resist that Shadow Claw. So I tried it out. It's pretty strong. Again, these are kind of the 3 unique Pokemon. You don't need to put them all on the same team, but this team did work very well for me. And then I did the Flyer double normal typing, Licky Licky Dunsparce. Again, there's not a lot of fighters in this meta, so just having only 1 weakness, 2 fighting, you're pretty safe. Plus that rollout buff adds a lot of damage onto these moves. I think Dunsparce is the better out of the 2. And then I put in Dragonite as the flyer on the front. You can use a different flyer or different Pokemon on the lead. I just wanted to have a flyer to deal with the fighting. Okay, so a few from Home Slice here. So Gastrodon, Dugong, and Jumpluff. So what's great about this team is that it has a lot of, what I like about it, a couple things I like about it. Tons of bulk. Bulk is always best. You have basically what I think is probably one of the top, at this point, 4 to 5 Pokemon as a safe swap in this meta, and that is Dugong. Dugong, I would say like Dunsparce, Feraligatr, Dugong, Drapion, and maybe there's a 5th I'm not thinking of, but those are my 4 top safe swap Pokemon in this meta. Dugong gets the benefit of like less fighters, less Lantern, right? So when you just take out those 2 of those and you hit super effective against Clodsire and you resist the Hydro Cannons, like there's just a lot to like about Dugong as a safe swap. And then jump off in the back again. Gastrodon only has one weakness in grass, double weak to grass, but grass weakness. And then you cover that with a flying grass itself, which will like double resist the grass. So very, very balanced, bulky team. Very, like, this is a team that I would put together and use, like, very my style team here. This is a double mud slap user team in the back. Again, you're weak to grass in the back. So you can use, I would use Marowak as your safe swap here, just because you have some coverage with Rock Slide. If you see like a flyer that resists the mud slap or a grass too, you can hit, I guess, except for like Chestnut, which is why I think Chestnut's a good combo breaker for this league. Yeah, I would use that. And then Powder Snow, a Sandslash. I just went over again in my video yesterday talking about best Pokemon to use with no Excel, no Legendary, no Legacy moves. Powder Snow, a Sandslash should be top Pokemon in this meta. There's a lot less fighters, which is one of your weaknesses. One or two fires still running around, and then obviously ground type users. But with the ground type users running Powder Snow, Ice Punch, you can hit super effective against the ground type users. And then more grass and stuff like that. So I think A-Sand is actually going to be very, very strong. So an ABB style team here. And then he does have access to Pangoro. So this is a very balanced team. In fact, if you watch my first top teams that I put out for the new season, I said this team, but with Machamp, because I just didn't have Pangoro. So this is a very common team. I put it out. Yonkers put out the same team with Machamp, and then Homeslice put it out with Pangoro. It's just it's such an obvious team. I think actually Pangoro does better because if you run Clodsire and Machamp, you are double weak to Psychic, but Pangoro is half dark, so you actually resist the Psychic on the back end there, which makes it stronger, more balanced, in my opinion. And Homeslice was, I think, one of the first to run Sludge Bomb on it, on your Clodsire, for the reasons that I kind of mentioned. It's quicker to get to, it's better damage per energy, so it definitely has, I think, a lot of play, Sludge Bomb. And then again, it's just a very balanced team. Pangoro is going to be weak to Fairy and Fighting, and Clodsire as a poison will resist that, and for Alligators, your safe swap. So again, this is a very basic team that a lot of content creators put together. Just wanted to highlight one from Yonkis. It was Malamar, Azumarill, Whimsicott. Again, people are trying to figure out, like, so Malamar we already kind of talked about. Psywave just got the huge buff. Same damage and energy as Shadow Claw, but a one-turn move. So very, very fast charging and hard hitting. And then Azumarill Azumarill did not get nerfed. It's just extremely XL, bulky, has some coverage. Again, for you gotta think about like the top meta, right? For Clodsire, you know, you're hitting super effective against each other. You resist the Hydro Cannons for Alligator, Mandibuzz, and there's some dark out there like Mandibuzz, stuff like that, and you're just neutral against a lot of stuff, and there's not a ton of grass and electric right now, so that's pretty good. But people are trying to find electric. Hello Whimsicott, hello Jumpluff. Pick your sort of grass in the back, Superior, Chestnut. I think a lot of people are going to try to find that grass component coming up, because I think that it's been missing for many, many seasons. And because flyers have been so dominant for so long in this meta. So with flyers most essentially gone now, some grass are going to rise to the top. So to use Whimsicott, there's other grass that you can potentially use as well. I think the 8th team is Rise. Same idea, but with Clefable in the back. Double Fairy. So you use sort of like Azumarill. Yeah, I would use Azumarill, quite honestly, to try and draw out your poison, whatever one it is. Hit them with the Bubble Ice Beam, and then Clefable, and then Malamar in the front end, and then Clefable in the back. So that is it. What I'm going to do is, a lot of you have sent me in videos the first 2 weeks of the season. I will shoot some of those videos for the first couple days of GBL, just so I can like get ahead, and I have those already on lock here. And then I'll try to shift to like some top teams now that people are at veteran and expert and whatever level they are at. So that is the plan. So feel free to submit some updated battles if you're doing battles this week. I probably buy like, I'll do like 2 or 3 if I see some really good teams from earlier in the season. But I think a lot of the earlier teams are probably going to be deleted if a bunch of you send in videos this week, just because it's been 3 weeks. People have their ratings. Competition is better. People are trying now. So I think that's probably what I want to do. So please submit some videos if you like. Link in the description. Anyways, those are the top teams. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.